Viltrox have been a contender in the budget lens space for a few years now, and recently have upped their game with the EVO range of more premium lenses for full-frame cameras. But now, these EVO lenses are coming to APS-C cameras as well, with the Viltrox EVO 90mm f2.2. So Viltrox say the new EVO line is designed to sit perfectly between the Air lenses and their larger Pro series. But does it have the image quality to back this claim up, and is it worth buying? So the Viltrox EVO 90mm f2.2 is a new APS-C autofocus prime lens, launching for Sony E, Nikon Z and Fuji X-mount cameras. It's priced at $369 or £359 in the UK and is released today on June 8, 2026. So Viltrox have sent me this lens for review, but as always they have no say in the content of the video, and this review is all my own opinion. I've been testing the E-mount version for the last few weeks. If you enjoy camera and lens reviews like this, subscribing to the channel really does help me out a lot. And also drop a hype if you have the option on YouTube. Interesting to see how that works out. The lens comes packaged in a clean white box with the EVO branding. It comes with a carry pouch and warranty information. So then here we have the lens, which has a metal and plastic construction, and also comes with a cylindrical lens hood attached. Straight away, this lens feels like a step up in terms of quality from the cheaper Air series with that metal finish, though it is still compact and weighs around 340 grams. Under the front lens hood, you can see the full lens information, 58mm filter thread, and a 0.74 meter or 2.43 feet minimum focus distance. Also, autofocus 90mm f2.2. Under the rear lens cap, you can see the electronic connections for autofocus, and there's also a red rubber gasket for some weather sealing. Looking closer at the side of the lens, you can see the EVO badge, and there's an autofocus and manual focus switch. There are two rings on this lens, one for focus and one for aperture. The front larger ring is a metal focus ring with continuous smooth travel for focusing. Then there's the smaller aperture ring, which ranges from f2.2 to f16. The aperture isn't notched apart from at f16 and at auto. These notches are very slight and are quite easy to knock, so yeah, be careful there. As mentioned before, there is an autofocus and manual focus switch, as well as a focus hold button. Overall, the construction is pretty substantial, but not too heavy. So this being a 90mm APS-C lens, it gives you an effective focal length of 135mm on a full-frame equivalent, making it ideal for portrait photography, compressed shots, and detail work, but less useful for in-studio shots or shots where you need a wide angle. It also has a maximum aperture of f2.2, giving you excellent subject separation and smooth background blur. I recently took this lens away with me to Spain, as you can tell from my lack of suntan. It wasn't the only lens I took with me for the trip, but I managed to make it work in a lot of situations. In fact, I found it a surprisingly good all-rounder. So all the photos and videos you are seeing in this video have been shot with this lens. Now, normally I would record the in-studio video that you're watching here with the lens that I'm reviewing, but that 90mm focal length is just too tight for the small studio space that I've got. So it's worth keeping in mind it is not a suitable lens for this type of shooting. So is the image quality good enough? Well, this lens delivers some very sharp images, especially in the center of shots. At f2.2, images are very sharp in the center of images with excellent detail. And also, edge sharpness holds up surprisingly well. Stop the lens down slightly to around f4 and the sharpness becomes even more consistent across the frame. Colors are rich and contrasty, and thanks to the multi-layer coatings, flare and ghosting are mostly well controlled. The 9-blade aperture creates a smooth, rounded bokeh, which looks fantastic for portraits and close-up shots. In fact, it looks pretty swirly and quite intense in some shots, which is a very stylistic choice. So combined with that longer 90mm focal length, you can get very professional looking separation between your subject and your background, again making it ideal for portraits. The autofocus performance is fast and accurate, and while it's not completely silent, it's quiet enough for most video work without issue. So unlike some of Viltrox's older lenses, this new EVO series feels like a really balanced middle ground, and it's good to see these lenses coming to APS-C sensors. The AF series were more affordable and lightweight, but lacked features such as an aperture ring, while the Pro lenses offer much more control but can feel very large and heavy. So these EVO lenses seem to be a decent middle ground between the two. It's worth noting that Viltrox have also recently released the vintage Z1 Pro on-camera flash, which does pair quite nicely with this portrait lens. So if you'd like to see my full review of that flash as well, I'll link it in the comments below. Now, because this is a 90mm lens, it's definitely more specialized than a wide-angle lens. It is of course fantastic for portraits, product photography, detail shots, and cinematic video, but not the lens that you would choose for vlogging or handheld wide-angle shooting. It's worth noting that this lens doesn't have optical stabilization (OSS) built into the lens, which can make sharp focusing and video work a little bit more difficult. The fairly wide aperture of f2.2 makes it decent at shooting in low light and shooting at night, though you will notice that there is blooming against bright lights in dark situations. It's also worth noting that there are some chromatic aberrations of details in the corner of shots, which you can see here manifests itself as purple fringing. It's not too bad, and you have to zoom in quite a lot to see it, but it is there and worth noting. But overall, the image quality is very good, with the sharpness incredibly sharp in the center of shots. This really is an excellent lens for portraits. So, does that mean you should buy it? Well, at $369, if you want a compact portrait lens with sharp image quality, smooth bokeh, and pro-style controls without spending huge amounts of money, the Viltrox EVO 90mm f2.2 is a very strong option, and is definitely an upgrade in sharpness compared to cheaper lenses in the same space. This is definitely one of the best portrait and subject lenses for APS-C cameras that I've tested, and is ideal for shooting high-quality portraits with a compact camera body. This lens has been released today on June 8th, and links will be in the description.